Hello and welcome to a quick preview of the Medeek Wall Plugin. I've just started working on this plugin in the last week or so and just wanted to give you a quick overview of some of the things that I've been working on and some ideas that I have with this new plugin that I'm putting together. So anyways, I quickly just drew up a little bit of framework or wall framing here just to use as a demonstration. So the thing that I recently added, of course, has been the edit menu. And if you go here into the edit wall assembly, you will see that you can, of course, edit everything having to do with the wall, adding, sheathing and cladding and all that. So let's go ahead and just try that out real quick. So there we go. We added the sheathing on that. So anyways, I'm not going to go into all the details right now with the edit menu. It's fairly straightforward, I think, and hopefully it's fairly intuitive. The one thing, though, that I've been experimenting with a little bit this evening is the whole concept of, well, I guess what I was trying to do recently is try to make it so that the designer doesn't have to be bogged down with all the framing right up front. And part of that was to basically add in this ability, this option here with wall framing where you could turn it on or off. And so if you select no and you hit update, you'll notice that it's just basically a block, and you can of course have your sheathing and your gypsum and everything else attached to that, but the wall framing is just represented as a solid. But even beyond that, I thought it might be interesting to add an additional option, and what I call the 2D option. So if you go 2D here, you'll notice that now it drops it down to just a 2D representation of that wall. Now, of course, I don't have any windows or doors shown, but those will be shown as little lines in the 2D drawing. And then as I got thinking about that some more, I realized, well, it would be useful, of course, to be able to instead of having to independently open up the edit menu for each one of these segments of the these wall segments, it would be nice just to be able to bring this wall framing up into 3D or back down into 2D quickly and easily. So what I'm contemplating doing, of course, is if you right click on it, you'll notice you've got this 3D and 2D button here. So if you click on the 3D to 2D, and you can see it drops it down, and then if you click on 2D to 3D, it brings it back up. Okay, and technically what's happening, of course, is all the parameters for the wall, windows, doors, spacing of studs, all that is actually stored as a library, and so it's basically stored within the database within the group itself. So for the plugin to recreate that geometry or destroy that geometry, really, it really doesn't matter. It can do that and still retain all of that information. So, and then the cool thing too, I decided is, it would be nice, like, let's say you select a bunch of wall segments and you want to bring them up or down. Well, you can do that with all of them. So let's bring all these down to 2D. And even though you have some that are already 2D and you want to bring all of them down to 2D, it doesn't matter. It'll just it'll take care of that. And then, of course, if you want to bring them back up, maybe some of them, just these 2 or 3, and we go 2D to 3D. Of course, it takes a little bit longer because it's got to think a little harder. Now, notice I have the OSB or sheathing up, enabled on this particular wall segment. So basically, it's not changing any other parameters for that wall other than the 2D or 3D feature. And then also in the global settings, I think I'll probably add a flag which basically determines when it brings it back up into the 3D whether it shows all the studs or just shows the framing as one big blob. So you can set that parameter, and then when you go from 2D back up into 3D, it will either frame it all out for you, or it'll leave it as, you know, just the blob. So yeah, let's just go throw the rest of these up into the 3D here. Let's see, and 2D to 3D, and it thinks for a bit, and there you go. And so it just redrew it all. So anyways, that's hopefully might be a helpful feature. You know, if you have any ideas on that or thoughts, please fire away. But I think it's kind of nice when you can go in and, you know, create a wall, and so now you have 3 options for the wall framing. You can do no, yes, or 2D. So if you just want to lay out, you know, things in a kind of a 2D setting, and you know, you still have all these options available to you, so you can turn on the wall cladding and everything. It's not going to show it, but it's you know, storing all those parameters still in the database. So you know, you can and you know, you can also change the way this preview, whether it's shown as a 3D skeleton or just a 2D representation, you can also adjust that as well. So now, rather than showing, you know, 3D walls going up, it's showing these 2D walls, but it's actually, you know, taking all that information that was in those first 2 menus, and those are all being stored as attributes. So for instance, if you take a look at these attributes of this wall, let's go to the attribute editor here. Yeah, you can see that all those wall attributes are there. Even though it's not drawn, they are still there. So anyways, just thought I'd share that with everybody and see if I had any thoughts on that or ideas. But right now I'm working on the window and door modules, and hopefully have those put together by early next week or mid next week, and then from there probably just a little bit more cleaning up, and we hopefully will have this plugin released. So I appreciate everybody's patience. It's taken me a while to jump on it, but I think once I've been able to jump on it, we've got quite a bit done. So anyways, you can see that, you know, those parameters and those you know, the cladding, for instance, that was specified, and granted, you know, you can always turn on cladding for these other walls if it with the edit menu as well. So anyways, it's all there. So thank you so much. Okay.